It's Talks with Fat Cat. Ooh, ah.
Every week here on the Just Bake channel, Jizzy Just Bake channel, we do once a week one documentary. We do things, we say stuff, and this is the part what we do is we watch and we say what we say about them. We connect things.
Yep.
And this week, we by the way, we go around and we decide who, we take turns on who's picking the documentary.
Round
Little
Robin.
Matty,
Round the robin.
little mattress had the choice this week. You know what I'm
Had the
saying?
ball
You
this
know what I'm
week,
saying?
and the name of the
You know what I'm saying?
documentary was Fire on the Hill, right?
The name of this documentary was Fire on the Hill. And
Fire on the Hill. I'm gonna let you,
There's a
let
fire.
little Matty introduce this one because this was his
Little
pick.
Matty, do your
Give,
thing,
give
baby.
it to him.
Come
Give
on,
it to me.
flex
Give
on
it
us
to me.
real quick.
and
Flex
now
on
I'll
us real
say
quick.
how there is the yin and the yang of life. And once again, I do not place any blame on anybody. But when I saw Chariots of the Gods, what I did
Yeah.
was I chose and I made a vow, dare I say, a promise to myself that I said, all right, motherfucker, here we go. Search documentaries. Boom, we're going in. I was at work once again, so I get paid to do it. Watched trailer after trailer after. I said, no. I'm gonna put together a playlist of some good ones.
Right.
And once
I
again, no blame. It just is what it is. And listen, sometime I might pick out a bad one on purpose because those are going to be fun as well. But
Right.
this one was in a list of ones that I had looked at, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is
That's
what
funny
you wanna
because the
watch.
next
I
one,
feel like
next one I'm picking, I think it might be on that list. But go ahead.
Good shit.
We'll wait till we get to that point. That's at the end.
Yeah. And it just looked good, and it said Fire on the Hill, and I didn't know what it was about because I was just checking everyone. Then I click on it, and it's talking about cowboys from Compton. And so I'm like, is it a joke at first? No, it is
Tension.
not a joke. This shit is really real. There's cowboys out there in Compton doing their gosh darndest to make it happen. And let me just tell you that what's the gentleman's name? Mr. Featherstone. How do you pronounce his name?
Guam.
Guan Featherstone.
Guam. Yeah, Guam.
G
It's like Guam.
H U A N.
It's like Guam. It's like Guam with the N
With the
instead of
N.
the M.
Or Guan. Yeah.
Guan Featherstone
What a
is
great
a
name.
person who,
He's the
when
fucking man,
make it,
by the way.
when I make
He's a
it
fucking
to
man,
the
by
end of
the
this
way.
life, I hope I can be half as good of a man as he is. Like,
Yeah,
all I
real
see
talk.
is, all I saw was just goodness out of that fucking guy. Like, everything
Yeah,
that
man.
he did was with a pure heart, and he just wanted to make his environment and the people around him better. And
Right.
I strive to do that, and I hope I can get to where he is, one day. Because
Right. That's why I say people reach certain enlightenments, man. That's why, it's interesting with the Buddhists. They think, people reincarnate themselves in life until they get to a certain part where they reach a certain kind of enlightenment. As such as my man like that. When you think about people that do, things in their life, it's almost like their soul wasn't reincarnated to get them to that point of that cycle of life. You know what I mean? That's just the theory they had. I'm not a Buddhist, but I thought it was interesting to share. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, but that dude, man, and this documentary. But yeah, go ahead, because this.
So basically, this entire documentary is it's called Fire on the Hill, and it's about these cowboys from Compton. And how it first started was from the South. They didn't exactly say where, but from the South, a bunch of cowboys moved to Compton in California, and they brought that whole style with them. And they created a different thing to do besides gangbanging, because what Guan was saying is he went to the army, he came back, and everybody that used to be friends with each other, now these guys are Bloods, these guys are Crips, and everybody hates each other for no reason besides you're wearing a different color than I am.
Right.
Now
And that's gotta be a fucking stalker right there. You come back to your hood, it's like, yo, where my brothers at? Are they killing each other?
Yeah. And
and let's remind
the
public too, man. Let's remind the public. This is back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? This dude Guam is pretty. He look pretty young, but mind you, he's trying to break a cycle now. At this point in time, he's trying to, do something good from his community because it's already, it's been already in that type of cycle since the 60s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was great when they were showing footage in the beginning of some old black rodeo riders, man. You know what I mean? Shit that like
that was dope.
Samson, shout out to Samson. That shit blew my mind. Like oh, okay. Yeah. There's really black rodeo riders. Like I don't, you know what I mean?
And I'll tell you one thing about Samson when they were showing his footage, and of course they were showing highlights, but during the rest of the documentary, I didn't see nobody landing on their feet after get thrown off the bull like Samson.
Only
in
Samson.
the 80s.
Just only
He was
Samson,
the one.
yeah.
He was getting fucked up, but then he was landing it and walking away, or he would land and throw his hat. And I don't know, man. He just seemed like he was way ahead of the game.
That was amazing, bro.
He had balance. He had balance almost like an acrobat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where they could fucking land and stick after being tossed in the air, fucking 30 feet in the air or some shit. That they just land like.
But when the guy says Samson, bro, and I don't mean to make joke of the situation.
Right.
But
he wasn't
but,
Samson at all.
But when the guy was like Samson, bro, my mind immediately went to Samson.
Yeah, I want to talk to Samson.
I need to talk to Samson.
I thought you was gonna say he was smaller than a name.
I went right to half baked, man. You know what I'm saying? The picture of the half baked dude came right in my head, bro. MC Samson. I was like, oh man. Just for that 1 second.
That's the one. But yeah, so they're basically a bunch of cowboys that are in Compton, and that's what they do besides gangbanging. They just adopted the life of. Some of them are just into owning and riding. Some of the gentlemen are into bull riding. Some of them just want to book it down the side of the fucking highway. And some of them want to, it's the ultimate pickup accessory of,
like my boy Calvin.
Hop on my horse, you trying to ride. Like Calvin.
We're going to talk about Calvin.
Like my boy Calvin.
I tell you this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I said, back, I'll be like, that's my man, Cal. Yo, oh man! But you know what was crazy too, man? It's like, what great way to have a different kind of outlet, man. I mean, they had just to give a little context too. They had an area that was on top of a hill in Los Angeles, or in Compton. Excuse me, in Compton. They had their own outside area where they was like. We gotta be honest. That shit was run down. That was bad. It was bad conditions. It was bad.
Oh yeah. It was not.
It was it was terrible conditions. But I mean, they had, but they actually took care of the horses. They took care of. But they had. It was a hood rig. Fucking. If you were to give a stereotype of a hood stable, this was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But they used what they had to the best. You know what I mean?
Everybody, close your eyes and think of a hood stable.
And that would be the hill.
And that was it. That was the hill.
It almost looked like a setting for a third world country visual, but then you put horses in there, and then you get some
instead
people
of people. Yeah.
Right. They pop up and take care of these horses with great care, but not the environment.
I guess that was their thing. You know what I mean? It was all about the horses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They care about themselves too. But I guess their main fucking creed, the main motto, the main important fucking thing was the horses. You know what I mean? I guess forming that bond on taking care of the horses is what drove them to maybe keep them attracted to that way of life.
Now, mind you, remember now that place that they built up there on the hill where all that stuff was, that was from way back when. Like from Samson's era, I believe. Those guys kind of created it.
70 years, man. 70 years. You heard how the dude said it for 70 years.
70, that's what he said.
This dirt's been the same dirt that these horses been stomping on, shitting on, pissing on.
That's that. He said at the beginning. That was at the very beginning.
70 years, man. That's a long time.
Oh yeah.
So
now there were. How many
like
people
mind-blowing to me,
were in the story? No, definitely. Black cowboys in general is a statement that
in the
you
hood,
don't really hear.
These guys are hood. You know what I mean? There was Calvin.
Yep. You got Calvin. You got Guam. You had
Chris,
and
Chris.
Calvin, Guam, Chris.
What's
the other guy?
Fat Pack.
Fat Pack.
Yep. You had that guy. Then you had one more that they really
the guy with the dreads, the cat with the little dreads.
No, I think his name was
part of. He was part of Chris's crew.
Chris, Derek, I think was his name.
Derek, yeah.
But
Derek
the one that they didn't really get into too much was the actual fucking gangbanger that turned cowboy.
Yes.
Oh, with the piercing and shit.
Right, with the two piercings on his
face.
In
his face. Yeah. He didn't. You know what I mean? He probably decided not to divulge too much info for the doc. You know what I mean? Some cat. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He went. Supposedly he went from full-fledged gangbanger to full-fledged cowboy and loved it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's just like I took this as like an eye opener because like when we was growing up, our outlet was sports. You know what I mean? Like. Our parents wanted, really whether they wanted to. Well, in my case, it was just something that I believe it was like instilled by my dad because he was a sports guy, baseball, basketball
Right.
kind of guy. He loved the sport, so it
Right.
was instilled
Especially
in
with you
me.
coming up in New York, it's like, there's a lot of shit you can go down the
Right,
wrong alley. So your parents gonna be like, yo,
right,
this keep you over
right,
there positive.
and that was the exact that is the exact reason why they had put me into sports because they didn't want me getting involved into the street life, into the bad shit. They wanted just to keep my mind occupied with sports. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
You enjoyed
I
it. You
kind of
like doing it.
I
Yep.
yeah, and so I kind of with that in mind, I kind of understood where they was coming from. You know what I mean with the horses, the stable, and things like that. So I kind of understood how people can get attracted to something outside of what they're used to on that every day to day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And me myself, I also like horses. You know what I mean? I love horses, man. I think they're like the most majestical fucking creatures on this earth. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking beautiful things to look at.
I
You
don't
know
know
what
if
I mean? They're
majestic was a word,
powerful.
but I love you.
You know what I mean? They're fucking powerful creatures, and they're also sensible creatures. They also can feel what you feel in certain, I
Like a
believe
human
in
sense
some sort
too.
of weird way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so
they
I
could be
kind of
like
I kind of
therapy.
liked it that. Right. I kind of
Yep.
liked it
It's
that you know what I'm saying, that was it, and like I really enjoyed just watching, man, how man got along with the horses, and the horses made man better, believe it or
Yeah.
not. You know what I'm saying, with the situation. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm waving hi. How you doing? Hey,
who you waving to?
I'm waving to you.
No, I'm swiping on my screen. Don't mind me.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I
It
thought
was
you was waving.
no,
My bad, my
it's a
bad.
swipe on the
Ah,
screen. I'm getting rid of stuff that did not bog me down. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So so yeah, so like I was understanding. I fully understood where Guam was coming from on his end. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Juan was speaking some real shit, man. I
Yeah,
tell you,
yeah, he was.
he was when he was saying things, man. It's like what, especially when they was when he was trying to and they were trying to shut it down in the community. What he was trying to do, and he was like, what's acceptable is what's fucked up. You a real nigga, he said. Dead on the ground. He was a real nigga.
Yes,
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
yes, yes,
But
You wasn't no
yes.
square ass doctor. You wasn't no
right, you want no
square.
right, you want
Fake
no
ass.
square ass,
No,
fake,
no,
you know, fake ass
exact
doctor,
word.
nigga.
Fake ass doctor.
Yeah,
I don't want to be no fake ass doctor. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be no fake ass
you gonna be a
lawyer, nigga.
real
You don't
nigga.
want to be no
What?
fake ass doctor, nigga. But you want to be
Right,
a real gangster, nigga, that die in the fucking street. You
right.
know?
Die
Yo,
in the
That's
street,
the
really.
mindset. You know what I mean?
um,
That's
one
the
of my
mindset.
one of my calling cards, as you guys must know by now, is bro. I got some quotes, and let me tell you, Gwant had quotes. He had
Yeah.
quotes where
Yes.
there were some I didn't write down because I was like, well, I can't say everything that he said. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he said, and now this one, honestly, where I'm at in my life right now, this shit hit me like a ton of bricks because
I
I
probably
feel
the
the
Talk to
same
me,
same
one.
nigga.
way.
I feel like it's the same one.
Yo,
I
Talk
know.
to me.
there's
Talk to
there's a
me.
bunch, but let me just tell you this
Right.
one. He said, I'm not happy on that street, and I sound crazy for wanting more. Because this was
You
when
know
he
what
was talking, when that dude was like, hey
Yeah.
man, no, I don't think he's ever coming back. And what I hated is I saw some of myself in that dude that was just like, nah, man, fuck that shit.
Yes.
And I was like, I
Yes.
need to be
Talk
less
about it.
like that guy. And I need to be more
Yes.
like Guan, who is just
Right.
like, man, you didn't put in a dollar, you didn't put in an hour, you didn't put any amount of time. And all you're doing is sitting there and being like, nah, man, this shit ain't
Knocking it
never going to
down.
work again. Yep.
Right.
Knocking it down. Knocking it
But
down.
that's,
What I
I
didn't
felt
do.
that so much because he's like, I'm not happy here. And now I'm the crazy one because I want to make shit better when people are just,
Right.
settling for,
Yes.
man,
And
well,
that's
because
Yep.
what we're jumping ahead on is the hill got burnt down.
right.
That's the big,
The big thing.
turning point in the movie
Yep.
is
Yes.
the hill
Yes.
was the
Burnt down, and
stables.
a horse died. It got
Yep.
actually burnt alive.
Yes.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
But that was
and
the
then
weird part of the doc.
right.
That was
And
the
when
Yep.
weird
that
part of the
happened, they
documentary.
deemed it. Then the city came in, deemed it unsafe, or they deemed it
Yes.
it wasn't up to code
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like
for
Yeah.
we were
equestrian.
describing the
Yeah.
stables earlier, the stables were all fucked up. So then
Right.
Right.
pretty much it
It was
was,
hood shit,
man, if anyone ever sees this, it's gonna be bad. Then there's a fire
Yep.
there. People come and they see
Yep.
it and they go, oh,
Right.
this is bad.
Yep.
But
This is bad.
but also let's tell them how the fire did come. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How the hill, you know what I'm saying, was just a bunch of people, that didn't know each other, or nothing that used to have horses that used to put their horses in there just to keep, you know what I mean? So
it wasn't
there was
exactly a tight knit club with everybody.
right.
There were
It
some
wasn't
people in there
right.
that just
They didn't
had their
want about
fucking
it.
horse in there.
Right. So you know, so since it was a hood thing, and it, you know, and it was something that wasn't, you know, recorded, you know, with you know, noted and fucking everybody know what's going on.
Yep.
So we had some guys in there that were probably, you know, that shouldn't have been in there, and they had horses in there. They weren't doing what they were supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
wish they went into that a little bit more, because they said the gentleman that set the fire, they said he was racing horses, and then
he sold it, but then he was mad or something about the horse losing.
Because even for me, I didn't even get to the part where the guy sold it, and then because I watched the documentary twice. I watched it the last 2 days. Then the second time I watched it, I felt like they said he was winning a bunch of money with that horse.
He was.
So
he
somebody
was
burnt
winning.
that horse.
Somebody burnt that horse to.
That's what it was. Okay.
To stop his because they were upset. Basically, this guy is hustling. You know, hustling these guys out of fucking money. You know what I mean? Whoever they are, big guy, whoever they are.
Some underground racing. Right.
Yeah. So, his horse is too fast. If we kill the horse, fuck it.
Right. To fuck him over. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna burn his horse now.
Yeah.
All right, because the first stuck everything down.
Yeah, because the first time I watched it, I thought it was like the guy that was racing the horse and had won all the money with the horse burned up the horse, so it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, on the second watch, I believe with Phat Cat.
Shit, at one point I thought it was the guy who didn't want to sell the property. I thought he fucking did an insurance thing on it. You know what I mean? I had that thought in my head.
Tucker Ruck.
Let's talk about that guy too. You know,
Tucker Ruck. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
So real quick, let me just say, Tucker Ruck, Mr. Tucker Ruck is the owner of the hill on paper. Like he's not there doing all that stuff, but let's just, you know, so
you rent out from him, right? You pay the piper. He's the piper. But he was. So now after the whole fire goes down and they lose that, now Guam is trying to get in contact with him. He's been trying to get in contact with him because he's trying to get it going again. You know what I mean? He wants to, you know, buy the property off him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The place burnt down, and then this is 2 years later they catch up with Guan. Yes.
Right. So he's trying to get him. I mean, and just the patience that you know what I mean, as many phone calls he made that were just online. That was just for the camera sake.
Right. So just imagine
how many he really made
behind the scenes, you know.
And every time he was like, man, I tell you, he did a hell of a G move that I might have got a little snarky in the voice at some point, but he kept the same tone every time. Just hey, listen, you know, it's imperative. Can you really just, you know, he was just really, he didn't get nasty like, sir, this is really rude. You're not getting back to me. Because he was persistent in what he was trying to do. He's like, listen, I'm not gonna catch this guy talking shit. I gotta try to kind of keep going this way.
Goes to like this little saying where you catch more bees with honey than with vinegar.
Bar
I'm
soups.
pretty sure it's with shit than oh, that's flies. You catch more flies with shit than honey.
So Guan's big thing was that he wanted to bring back the hill, and now the hill got burnt down, like we said, because the gentleman was gambling with his horse. He had a horse that was too fast. Some people burnt it down. I wish that they went into that a little bit more, but I also felt that like it was kind of code of silence there.
That's like its own. That's an own document right there.
True,
I think that's an own documentary on its own. Batman and his horse. Story. You know what I mean? And the mafia.
That's probably like a real big underground betting thing. You know what I'm saying? Where he didn't want to step on toes because that probably would have. You know what I mean? He probably by even saying he was racing the horse. Even by giving up that info was a little bit too much. You know what I mean?
Because now they were like in the Preakness. Oh, none of the big ones.
No.
But I'll tell you that brought my attention to that like aggressive racehorsing. Because exactly like you're saying, that wasn't like a setup in a stadium. That was some backyard aggressive weird ass racehorsing. That shit was different.
Go to a deserted fucking place where it's like a fucking mile, a mile and a half. You know. Deserted straight fucking dirt
like on an airport run.
Let them go.
Right. Yep. These guys that were so now there was a community. These guys and they're all from Compton, right?
Yeah, different places from different places from Compton, man. Different neighborhoods.
And this is just you got to think about it for anybody that knows, and you're not blind to knowing what Compton's about. You know, go on the news and check it out. You know what I'm saying? Go on
Yeah,
YouTube.
just type fucking
Compton.
exactly.
Compton, you're gonna get a whole bunch, and you're gonna get the negative stuff that's gonna pop in first because Compton's known for it's hood, man. You know what I mean?
It's
Every
gang
Boys in the
related
Hood
activities.
movie you talking about,
True.
you know what I'm saying? You know, gang banging shit like Bloods and Crips. That's the mothership right there. L.A., Compton, those two boroughs. That's where it's at. So to hear the idea of there being cowboys, like you
Blew
know,
my mind.
street shit is like cowboys. Oh, that's a nigga that's just gun happy. He shoot the place up. You know, he might get that street name as a cowboy. No, but no. The real cowboys to the T, my G. Hats,
But
boots.
can I just say something on that? Add a little extra to that.
Go ahead, put some pepper.
You know, when I was watching this shit, it just hit me too that the dude cowboy, so-called Nipsey Hussle's business partner, best friend, like I'm like, oh, maybe he, you know, adapted that lifestyle also, and now is, you know, a cowboy from Compton, and maybe was at time at the Hill. You know what I mean? Had me thinking for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Now, who was this?
Because you know, the dude cowboy, he a Crip. He's an actual Crip, but his name is Cowboy, and he was supposedly Nipsey Hussle's business partner, and also, you know, one of his best friends. And they call him Cowboy. That's his name. And he wears a cowboy hat and everything. You know what I mean? So maybe he knew about that side of Compton, that he was like, you know what? Even though I'm gang banging and shit like that, this is still, you know, neighborhood. This is still part of our culture. And I guess he kept, you know, that moniker with the hat and the cowboy name and shit like that. You know,
he could have been
just had me thinking like, okay, now I could understand why he would be, you know, cowboy, you know, with that and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because there really actually are real cowboys in fucking Compton, California.
Hell yeah.
Gangbanger turned cowboy. Book title: Secret Saddle.
Oh my.
Nigga.
Secret Saddle.
Secret Saddle. The life of a nigga that runs the streets by day and is a big horse fanatic equestrian by night. Nigga. Come on,
bro.
That's not a premise for a fucking movie, bro.
Yo,
I'm about to
educate me for a
download.
second, fellas. Educate
I'm about
me
to
for
download a
second.
sound effect button just so I could start dropping bombs on you, because that shit was righteous.
Like, woo!
Educate me for a second. Equestrian.
Mm-hmm. That's the knowledge of horses.
Okay.
The profession,
Thank you,
the knowledge of horses. You're an equestrian.
Thank
you know all about
because
everything there is to know about horses.
Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Now I understand why Guam was at the equestrian meeting. I mean, at that meeting for that equestrian center to be being built. Because I'm like, what the fuck is an equestrian center? And I'm thinking, I'm like, I know it has to do something with horses, but I just couldn't figure it out what exactly it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It always sounds like water to me.
I'll bill you. I'll send you the money later. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for that.
Send the bill. Cash out. Nah, question.
Send me the invoice later.
That was one of those ones. That was one of those words. I remember when I first kind of heard that word a while back, I just chuckled and looked away until I was able to get around by myself to actually look the shit up. You know what that, like, you don't know what the shit is, so you kind of chuckle. You kind of chuckle and shit like, ha ha, yeah, what the fuck is that nigga talking about? I don't even know if I know how to spell that shit, nigga. Equestrian. What the fuck is this nigga talking about? But you know why I learned to that though? You know why I learned to that actually? When I worked for some years at an art gallery. They had a section of paintings, and it was the equestrian life. You know what I mean? It was all about like horses and equestrian. So it kind of, I was like, oh, this is this word. But around,
you put 2 and 2 together and came up with 4.5.
Listen, I came up with the other 4.5 around the corner where they didn't see me. I think it's they talked about it. They was like equestrian. I'm like, I keep hearing this word. Let me go in this little back hallway real quick. Talk to my man Google real quick.
Talk to Google real quick.
Yeah, we do with Google. But I tell you, man,
talk G-Money.
Yeah, man. But you know what? It was such a phenomenal thing to see, bro. It was like for one, wait, my biggest, I guess, equestrian question is, nigga, are you allowed to have horses in the hood like that?
Yes.
Well, because
if
that was something that I caught on the second time around. After the hill burnt down and they only had like an hour to get the horses out. The first time, I guess I just wasn't looking at the screen during this part, but then they popped up a little thing where like all the horses just went to private owners' homes. And I'm like, so I guess there must be a zoning thing where, yeah, you can have a dog, you can have a horse. Right. Who the fuck knows?
But not even just having one like in the hood in your property. I mean, galloping down the street, nigga. Like these things, yo, these things is, you know what I mean? In the middle of Compton with horses. Like, yo, I thought only cops was able to do shit like that, man. I thought it was. I
guess you can, bro.
But I just didn't think like there's not a. You know, like in the city you got bike lanes.
Yeah, I think it's also a beautiful lesson. It's a beautiful lesson if you don't know until you try. Like, bro, hop on a goddamn horse and take a ride. See what happens.
Yo, you know what it's probably like? You know what it's probably like? It's probably like the damn kids in the hood with the dirt bikes. The cops don't fuck with them because they can't give chase to them because it's dangerous. Imagine a cop trying to chase a nigga on a horse. That's dangerous, man. You're going to plow through some people, man. It's going to be bad. If he choose to do so. But my whole thing is like, why would you? I mean, I don't know. The nigga had his hat. He was putting it backwards. He was riding the horse. Yo, I was like,
yo, that's what I'm saying. That's the joy. That's that joy. Son.
Right. Imagine yourself being a young kid in that neighborhood. And like, only time you ever see horses is cops or cowboy movies. Right. It's like the new. Yeah, those are nice rims on your car, but nigga, I got a horse.
Yeah.
Because as you saw, they were instant celebrities when they pulled up to the gas station.
You see my boy Cal, you know what I'm saying? Pulled up, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, let's talk about Cal. Since you brought up Cal, let's talk. So one of the guys is Calvin. All right. I was fucking with Calvin at first. I ain't go front. At first, I was fucking with Cal. I was like, Cal, I like what he's about, man. You know, he's a family man. Look at this. He's got his kids, man. He's got his wife, man. He's a family man. He's trying to do right, man. But
seemed like a hard worker.
He seemed like a hard worker. You know, he had a security job and shit. You know what I mean?
That's another topic we got to hit up too. I want to hit up too. The hard working part, because I got some ideas and opinions about that. But anyway, go ahead.
He was working hard, all right. He was working hard. So Cal, he was he more into the bull riding, or was he horse?
No, that was Chris.
Chris was the only bull rider. Okay, so Cal, he was in love with his horse. What was his horse's name? Shit, the black one.
Jazz.
Jasmine was short. Jazz for short. Right.
Jazzy for jazz. You know what I mean?
It almost like when you look at it, you could tell. I don't give a fuck. His wife was so jealous of that fucking horse. You could tell in all her comments and all the way she answered, man. I felt so much like, you know, he does his thing, you know. His horse, his thing, you know what I mean? It's like, you fucking hate it. And when them cameras ain't on, you bitch to him every second. Like, that nigga found some passion. Support that nigga.
But you know what? I think they're in a weird relationship because they both know that they cheat. So she thinks, yo, if he didn't have that horse, he wouldn't be getting no bitches and he wouldn't be cheating on me. Because she knows he's cheating on her. So
check this out.
The horse is like a bad car, man.
My thing was, my take from that was, all right, dude found something now, right, to get his attention. Dude was just probably just working type, coming home. You know what I mean? And just chilling with his niggas.
Mm-hmm.
He went from just being home, chilling with his niggas, to now being home, chilling with his niggas, going out riding on the horse. Turns to now riding with his horses now, now she like, oh, I can't be the one. Now I'm not the only one doing the cheating. It's maybe. Gotta put the maybe out there.
Wait, she admitted to cheating on him too?
No, I'm just saying the mindset. No. I'm just saying she's, you know, her thing is, you know, he in the crib, you know what I mean, now. As she, you know, she would be able to go out, do her things. Now she probably can't do as much because he's out there. You feel me?
True.
He's riding with the boys. Now he's getting attention from girls. now he's doing his thing with being a player, like he, you know what I'm saying, and all this and
Because you
all
got to
that.
remember where Calvin came from as well. He was the one that, yo, let me borrow your horse. Yeah, anybody got an extra horse?
Yeah.
All right, man, I got the horse. Now I got to borrow the saddle. Now I got to borrow the bridle. And then he would miss the runs. So you could tell he had experienced them before and saw, I'm sure, the attention everybody got and was like, yo, if I just had a horse, if I just had a horse.
You got to think about that. You going around the way in your hood on a horse. Nobody got that. Of course you going to get mad play. Oh, my God, can I go for a ride? Yeah. Oh, man, you see them all hugged up. You know what I mean? My whole thing is like, damn, though. But see, then I have that sense of, you know what I mean? I'm a dad too. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, bro. You know what I mean? You kind of playing your hub for a horse. You know what I mean? And some bitches.
Yep.
Let's keep it real. What he was doing. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I can't really put my hat on like you did the right thing in that particular moment. You know what I mean? You did have an obligation of a family. But like you said, it was rough. I get it. But you gotta shit on the pot to get off then or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But
everybody got their own thing.
And then that's later down, came to find out that Shorty bounced on him, was like, yo, listen, it's a decision you gonna make. What you
she
gonna
gave
do?
him an ultimatum. The good old ultimatum.
And then at the end, he made the right decision. You know what I'm saying?
He did. That's why I said at first, and it's like he was doing dumb shit, but he made the right decision and he moved.
I mean, come on, man. We all do dumb shit.
I know.
He did some real dumb shit. That was a lot of dumb shit.
Pete, I know.
Let's besides, you know what I'm saying? Because you're right. The only people that were getting any type of feeling or any type of were the kids. You know what I mean? The kids were the only one that were suffering.
You gotta remember, and that's what. And I feel like when people forget that the kids are involved,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And it's different if it was just him and a girl and they was doing all that. I really, you know what I mean? My thing is like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Tell her to go about her way. She keep it moving. He fucking cheated. Keep it moving. When your dad, you chose this as your wife, and this is your kid. You know what I mean? You've made that decision. You know, and you choose to do what you do, and he knew he fucked up, and he admitted, and he got right.
Yeah.
And he moved with them. They moved to where? Vegas, right? I think it was.
Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
Yeah, they bounced to Vegas.
Yeah, but I will say one of the things that put me in a right spot is one of the realest things I've ever seen in a documentary is they showed Calvin right there going to the park with his kids and his wife and just go, yeah, no, things could be better. Yo, people don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He did. He said,
that's how I knew it was ready. It's like, things could be better.
Already knew, when he said that, he already set the tone where I knew, okay, so by him doing what he's doing, it's not really, you can't really, he already saying he's unhappy. You know what I'm saying? And without them cameras, who know what their situation is?
Or they, you know what I'm saying, have
she could be fucking around. He ain't put her on blast, or maybe she did.
You're right, something's up. You just know something is up.
Right. That's all. And he kind of was just like doing his own thing. But like when you look at it, you can see where the viewer will make him into what I just did. You know what I mean? Like, oh nigga, why you doing shit like that, man? You know what I mean? Come on, you got a kid, man, you doing it wrong. You know, but then it's like, I don't know the whole story. Maybe she cheated on him before a couple of times. You know what I mean? Maybe she always when them cameras ain't on, she talking shit to him, demoralizing him, talking about calling him a fucking horse lover or something. You know what I mean? Fuck your horse. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like say the most wild shit.
But you know more than likely that's probably how it is, man.
Come on, you know it, man. She had hood sass to her, man. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell. Come on, but
she wasn't from the burbs. She was from the hood.
We know them signs. So absolutely.
Yeah,
we all know them signs.
She wasn't from the burbs. Like my man, what you call it, girl was like she was more. I think it was Guam's wife. Was it Guam or the other guy? I think it was maybe Chris. His wife was more like she was more refined, like you know what I mean, with the short hair, real smiley, kind of dark skin.
That was Guam.
That was Guam's wife.
Yeah,
or fiance or what? Yeah, but you could, you know what I mean, like you could tell how she carried herself. She was probably from more.
Yeah, she was more mature.
More reserved a little bit, you know what I mean? She just wasn't, you know. You could tell Kendra, what you call it, white Kendra had a little sass to her, like, I mean, he do his thing, but you know, he's like, turn the cameras off, nigga. Pick up your shit. I'm tired of picking up your underwear. And fucking, you just fucking.
Well, I'll tell you like this: Calvin was super comfortable doing what he was doing on camera. He knew he was on camera. That was no secret camera.
He admitted it. I mean, it was like, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I just. You know, it was like I couldn't help it. The horse brought it in, and I fell right into it.
Yep.
Come on, man.
A
It's
little
girls
bit of
here's,
that's like,
fame,
here's
man.
what
You never
now
know.
the thing with Calvin too, when he was like, I was, going from job to job, and then all of a sudden he goes, yeah, I started making, a lot of money now. You know what I mean? So now I'm happy.
Yeah.
That nigga went from not doing shit to hustling. My opinion.
Yep.
My opinion. I believe son was just like, fuck it. I'm here. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is filming me. I'm making a documentary. So I guess he got paid for the documentary. He started hustling now. He's gotten popular now. And now he the man with the horse and doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? And this girl was like, you know
you gotta
what?
remember, it's
We
a
got to
source of
go.
fame, man. It's a fame. You know what I mean? It's like a local fame. And like anybody, man, people your local fame will feel like the big stage. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
the love you'll get from your community, motherfuckers feel like a celebrity. You know what I mean? It's like, to them, that's the whole world. Is all eyes on me. I'm the fucking man in the whole world. But it's really your people, your peers. That's like, yo, they got a fucking horse. What's that, like a 12 hand, nigga? It's like a 12 hand. That's how they measure horses. I learned that too. They go by hands. The more, like, a 12 hand is a huge horse. You know what I mean? There's like an 8 hand. You know what I mean? It basically measures like an average size hand to hand. All I know is Guam is a good man.
But I understand what you're saying, though. But I get it. I understand.
What we're trying to say is equestrians are out there in Compton.
Yeah, they are. They're all over the
Yo,
world.
you know what's
They're all
funny?
over the
You know
world.
how I put him on my phone? I said, Guan Featherstone, really good guy. That's what I wrote right there.
He was the fucking man. You know, and
I
what
like
stuck to
taking
me,
notes.
I don't know if you wrote that quote. I didn't write I wish I wrote that quote down. There was a quote he said that fucking resonated with me, with the whole, when he was kind of going on about, if I could touch one person and change that one person's life and give back, he goes, if not, then what the hell are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Yes.
What are we doing with our time here? You know what I mean? If we're not trying to help and do something, then what are we doing with our time here? I'm like,
veteran people.
That's, it's just like it's just like we were talking about before, Maddie, when we saw earlier. It's like when you got a talent and it's like, and you give up on it or something, you're not sharing. What are you doing here? You know what I mean? You have a talent that a lot of people don't have. What are you doing? You know what I mean? You gotta share that shit, man. You know, you want to go biblical, they say it in the Bible. You know what I mean? God gave you gifts to share. Stop being stingy.
He's like, even if he does, that's what he was saying. He was saying, even if he doesn't get to rebuild the hill, and if he just touched 10 people that went out in their community and made a difference, then he's like, I'm happy. I did my purpose.
Right. Yep. I served my purpose. He said, if not, what the fuck are we doing?
Which is deep, man. To be in tune like that, so deep like that with yourself, to be like, yo, that was pretty dope, man. That dude right there, you know what I'm saying?
And I think things shift like that is for someone more like me too. It's like, as you get older in life, man, you start seeing certain of these things, man. You start trying to want to tap into another part that you don't even know you can get to, man. And hey, when somebody feels they got the Holy Ghost, I'm not the one to tell them they're not. I almost is like, damn, I'm kind of jealous, bro. Is it that easy to get, or some people bullshit? I don't know, but like that almost like make you jealous of like, man, that's some powerful shit. You know what I mean? That you're feeling something that's like out of your body experience. You know what I mean? That's if you really feel that, man, that's pretty phenomenal. And I feel like there's something that's going to be in your life and everybody's life that's going to pull them towards that, whatever it is. You know what I mean? If it turns out I'll be a Buddhist and you know what I mean? And Buddhism talks to me and it fucking pulls me in such a way where I'm just bullheaded, beat it up. You know what I mean? And Namyo Rengekyo. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him.
It's just whatever's going to pull you to your light, your inner light, man. That, I feel like we don't get there sometimes. Some people don't get it till later in life. Some people might not get it. Some people die with that misery of not ever seeing a light. Or maybe they
or that fulfillment of whatever, you know what I mean?
Right. Something
that you know what I mean?
Boy, man, and that's why, rest in peace to my pops, man, my step pops, who I call my pops. He reached his, man. You know what I mean? This is a man who was never religious. He never was like, yo, look, football's on Sunday. What you mean? I got a bear in the freezer. I don't want to sit in church all day. What we talk about right now? You know what I mean? He was far from religious. He went down later in life, a dark path, and in order, with an addiction, and in order for him to get out of there, he bounced back and he found a born-again Christian. He became a born-again Christian and he found his faith. And it was like, it changed him, man. I seen it. You know what I mean? This is the man I know my whole life. So I feel like I know him. but it's like almost like a certain switch in his eye that was different. You know what I mean? It's like something like, man, you're like you said, in tune. Like, bro, you're fucking in tune right now. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what, you know what I mean, but that was for you. You know what I'm saying? That was his light. You know what I mean? And that I'm glad he found that before he passed away. So I feel like that's a beautiful thing, man. If you can get that, whatever it is that fills your void, man, like you said, fulfillment. Horses could be it.
True, could be the horses.
All right, shout out.
Nah,
Yeah,
man.
so I think. Go ahead.
The reason I said majestic before was
You
because
said majestical, but I like that one better.
yeah.
Say majestical.
Oh yeah, I meant majestic.
I like majestical, nigga. I like because that's some shit I would say. That's why.
You know, I mean, but because like I just think they're just so awesome, man. Because I really believe, like, just like dogs, man. You know what I mean? Like they can change your feeling about things. You know what I mean? Like you can get a certain feeling from that animal. You know what I mean? It gets so, you know, attached emotionally to that animal that it's crazy. You know what I mean? That bond. You know what I mean? Just from coming from that horse, make you change your whole outlook on certain shit. You know, and that's crazy, man. You know, that's dope. That's real dope.
That's dope. Especially
you know what I'm saying?
you're
That's
in
real
that
dope.
environment, man. You're in that kind of environment, man, and then you have a sense of peace that's like that doesn't match that environment. You know what I mean? Horses in the hood don't go together. You know, it's not a thing. It's not an everyday thing you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like horses,
Man.
like I said, only time you see horses in the hood, it's cops around them. You know what I mean? For a parade or some shit.
Yep.
You don't know nobody in the hood with no damn horse, man. You got to drive out and, you know, when you're going into an amusement park and you got to go through the woods, go down a back road, you're going to run into it like, oh, look, there's a horse over there in that farm. That's somebody's way of living. Only time you're familiar with it in these neighborhoods is going to zoos and shit, you know? So I think that's a great thing to have, man. And giving another outlet for maybe that kid that don't want to be involved in sports, or he don't want to be involved in, you know what I mean, in rapping or something, or acting, or, you know what I mean, and especially in California, because those are like those big options over there. Shit, man, you can be a fucking horse bull rider.
And Chris was the anomaly, I believe, in that.
Let's talk about Chris. Yes, I'm glad you brought him up. Chris, what's his last name?
Because Chris, Bird. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
What a why.
So Chris Bird, like, he was the anomaly because his whole family, man, as he put it, was all gang bangers, man.
Yep.
Like, he came from the cloth of that.
That's
going
right.
around
When
showing
he was driving around,
got shot over here.
Yeah,
My brother got shot over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, I seen that, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to do that. And what happened? Nigga went and chose to go bull riding. I think he went to the hill, and then he chose to start doing bull riding.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he's good too, because they were saying that it's over 5,000 people a year that try to get on that pro circuit, and only 15 of them make it. And he made it in his rookie year, his first time out.
And then when he made it, they said he came in second place at the finals. When they did at the end, they did a little typo follow-up.
So and that dude's good.
He is one of the top 40 bull riders in the world, bro. Not the country, in the world, bro.
That was insane. That was insane.
But how crazy was it when the old dude was teaching him, when he went to the guru? Because Chris, let's rewind a little bit. I was gonna say, Chris, he went through a rough spot where I guess he was just out of his game, and he kept
mentally was off.
After
2 seconds.
No. What happened to him was his best friend got killed.
Yes. And then he started falling from that point a little bit.
And then he started just slipping. You know what I mean?
I remember that. Yeah, it was
because his best man died. They both went to the hill at the same time. They was vibing. They got to, you know what I mean? They became best friends.
But I think he was explaining more of that. His mind wasn't there. He wasn't in. You know what I mean? You have to kind of be locked in. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if he blamed it on more of his friend dying, but I think he just wasn't focusing. You know what I mean? And
you got to get. I mean, it has to be attributed.
He kept getting bucked off. He was getting. You saw, man, he was 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
You see him from being laser focused doing this thing to after his friend dying, and then he's not doing this thing to where he has to go, you know, and get to you know, go get outside, you know, advice, to now being back on his shit.
Yep.
You know, like, come on, bro. If a death of a close friend, family member, that's going to definitely affect your psyche and whatever you do.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I believe that attributed to his, you know, his slacking on his pimping a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Definitely, I can see it.
He was all. I mean, you know what? Still kind of. You felt that fucking sadness, man. It was the empathy part, man. When it's like, damn, when they was holding it together, cool, man. But it looked like when they was in that bar, like they wanted to talk to people, man, and nobody wanted to talk to them, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
kind of like they wanted to be accepted in that bull riding or that horse, that community. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to be accepted there, man. And it was like,
of course. You see how they threw jabs at him when at the competition when he's like, yeah, Chris Burr from Compton, California. Hey, any Cowboys, bull riders from California in the house? I mean, he was like, anybody from Compton? And everybody looking around laughing.
right. Compton, that's far from it. That's just the
you know
Insider Boys joke.
Like basically the crowd or the people in there were like, are you really going to insult us right now with this bullshit?
Yep.
Type of attitude.
It's a tough spot to be in, man. Even like being that black hockey player, man. That's a tough spot because you really enjoy the sport and you want to be accepted. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard for them to get around that without people pointing that out to them. You know what I mean? Like, you know you're black, right? Playing hockey. Do you know you're black playing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know. Man,
exactly.
I enjoy the sport, man. Accept me as a fucking player, bro.
Exactly.
Accept me as a fucking player,
that type of shit. That type of shit. You know what I mean?
Did you know you were black? Get the fuck out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
am.
I think,
like, come on.
I think when we last left off on Guan, the hill had just burnt down.
Yeah.
And then the thing that fucked me up about Guan is that he went and started working on it. It was almost like that might have been the fault in his character. He went and started working on the hill and started cleaning it up.
And it wasn't his property. For free.
And it wasn't his property.
He was that passionate. He felt so he felt so confident he was gonna get that property. That's what it was.
Yep.
Until that motherfucker, you see the footage kind of stopped him working there when he stopped picking up the phone. You see the footage kind of windowed away of him actually going up there.
Because I believe the guy got wind. The owner probably got wind that they was making a documentary, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe his lawyers was like, listen, if you want this to be a good look on you, or if you want people to continue to sell properties and you want people to give you money for properties, go pay your fucking taxes on this shit.
Yo, his properties are bad. Remember he went to the house and he said he peeked in the window?
Yeah, he's like, oh my God.
Yep.
They're horrible.
A huge house all full of trash everywhere.
That's what they said it was like at Whitney Houston's house, where it was like a mansion but a crack den. It was like it made no sense.
Wow. That's
I
crazy.
just picture literally.
There's pictures online of the burnt spoon
house?
in the sink.
Oh yeah. Shit. No shit.
Nick, did you see the cover of Pusha T's album?
No.
Yeah, that was it, right?
Of his last album, that's Whitney Houston's bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Actual bathroom.
I didn't even see it. That's crazy.
But I just envisioned when he said that, I just literally envisioned trash bags of trash everywhere.
Right.
When he said
so
that,
he was for just to give you a context, he was adamant on hunting this guy down to get this property.
Mr.
Tucker Ruck. He was calling, he was going around asking people if they talked to him and old connects and plugs and constantly leaving messages, you know what I mean?
Tucker Ruck.
I'd be polite.
Tucker Ruck, a.k.a. Mr. Tuck and Run. You know what I'm saying?
Tuck and Run. Yeah, that's Mr. Tuck and Run. Tuck and Run like he tucking a gun. Get him. Yeah, he bounced crazy. And then was crazy now he's even going down to the town hall meeting because the town is involved with knowing that they're trying to get it going again because
so now again a lawyer advice saying, listen, get your ass down with this guy now and help him out. And now your name is going to be in good graces, you fuck. Get over there.
Right. See,
and that's how these fucked up rich guys stay.
They wanted to shut down. I heard more negative comments, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it happened in that timeline, too. I bet you that guy probably
I was speaking about at the end. I was talking about, down later.
Oh, yes, yes.
At the end, you know
I agree, at the end.
Yeah, but when they were in the when they were in that town meeting and shit,
Yeah,
man, it was like
yeah.
they were all
It took the
burying it. They were all
cowboy
burying it,
dude.
except for that one
Yeah,
dude, man, that he spoke, and that was
Yep.
very, very key for the violins at that point because it was very, you know what I mean. He was going in. I'm like, okay, blood.
Yeah, see,
Now
for
we need
President's
somebody good.
documentary, that's how you do the fucking music in the background.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, the
You
last
yeah,
two
pepper it. You
documentaries,
pepper it.
Chariot
yeah. You
Gods,
do.
don't ever
Yeah,
do
you do.
that. And for presidents, you just shouldn't have done that. This is
Yep.
how you do it. Like that. Let's talk about that because this was a great fucking soundtrack, man. I felt
Yeah, it
like
was.
Oh
there was
yeah.
Yeah,
some
it
great
was.
Western shit going on. Then hip
Yep.
hop was thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit was official, man. Like, cause I love kung fu too.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but then, like we said, so Kwan's trying to rebuild the place. He's working on the place, even though it's not his. Yeah, they don't explain how, but that stops, and he's looking for other spots to try to just house these horses and make it like a community for the people. And yeah, like we were
Like
saying,
a
the
center
equestrian
for the
center.
kids, a youth
They
center
they
and stuff.
dropped in on that meeting, but yeah, they didn't go too deep into it. But I think it all just he was trying to
I'm
just
laughing
find a
at the
place.
right.
And it didn't really matter where, but he wanted it to be the hill. And then eventually Mr. Tuckeruck paid his taxes, which fucked everything up.
Right, because now he
And
pays
but
taxes.
still
Like,
wouldn't
oh, he's back. He's
communicate.
back to owning it. You know what I mean? He thought
Yeah.
he was gonna be able to auction it because he was excited. Like, there's an auction. He's thinking we were gonna get that auction. Then he found
There you
out,
go,
like,
yep.
oh, so no, he paid his taxes off and he still owns it. Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's another
I
good.
mean, so then now he made his next power move was now, he got it, he got involved with Tuckeruck and Tuckeruck, seizing the opportunity to keep his name in good faith was like, you know what?
Right, but they didn't see that
Let's
was
do
creep
it.
about this documentary. They didn't tell you that to the very end. Tucker
Yeah.
Rucker was an asshole until the end, and they didn't even show. They just showed a
Hmm.
picture of him shaking his hand, him cheesing like a motherfucker, shaking his hand too.
You know what I
Got
mean?
his
Like,
ass. I finally
But
got his ass.
but that's the thing too. Like
you
you got
know?
to remember that when they wrote like after the completion of this documentary. So I
Yep.
bet you they were
Right.
just like, "Hey Tuck, here's an advanced copy. Check
Right.
this
Here's a
out."
copy.
You
You
know?
want to check this out because we're putting it out. You might want
Yeah.
Yep.
to.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I think about stuff like
Yep.
that, like him, them being funded by the people that did this documentary for them to get things. You know what I mean?
Right.
How did Chris Bird pay for those lessons? I'm pretty sure they were expensive, man. You know what I'm saying? That guy that
All
was
through the
known,
sponsor. I think it was all through the sponsor, he said.
Yeah.
right? He had to work his ass off for that sponsor. Remember, he said he had to work harder to get a sponsor
Yeah.
because everybody else just got sponsors. They're throwing it at him, but he had to work for it.
Yeah.
You know, Compton nigga want a sponsor and motherfucking bull riding.
Well,
God.
you see him, he was writing a letter to him. He was pitching him.
Yeah.
Tell him, I won this, I won this, I won this. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
trying to do
right.
this,
You
I'm
you
trying
got
to
the
do this.
resume. I'm gonna show. Look at my resume. Stop playing. Sponsor
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And when they
Yeah.
when they look at it, proof is in the pudding. His name, Bird, 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 Bird. Bird is the word. Put him on the bill. You know what I mean? Put him on the bill, B.
Mhm.
You know. But all in all, man, this is a great documentary, man.
I liked Chris Bird's aunt spoke out, and I liked what she had to say. She had said, and that might have been who you were talking about earlier with the tight cut, like the bob
No, that
cut.
was his aunt was a light skinned one.
I was saying she had a good quote, and she said that because Chris had a goal and he had a dream, he stays focused. And I thought that was important, is to have a fine point that you're actually working towards. And
Right.
I think there's a lot of people out there, including myself, that don't necessarily have that goal. Whatever that goal may be, like that certain, like, that's it.
Right. That's
And
the point. Shit, I always envy
I think
somebody
that's
knew
what
they wanted
kept
to
him
be.
away from everything
mean?
so hardcore. Of he knew what he wanted to do, and I've always been jealous and envious of people that, like the people in grade school who'd be like, "I'm 10 years old and I know what I want to do," and you're like, "Holy fuck, I wish I was you."
And then they grow up to do it.
Yeah.
Those ones that fuck you up. Like, I always wanted to be a doctor, and guess what? I'm a doctor
Yep.
now. And nigga, you said it. The bar was there. It's like that, like they said. And I think one of the best things I heard too before is, like, in order to gain that kind of success, you have to basically obsess over it. You know,
Yep.
like a healthy obsession. You know what I mean? It's like not like going crazy, but like you have to make it part of your diet. You know, every day something
I
towards
mean,
that.
all the greats, man. All the greats. That's the common denominator, man, on that, man. Sacrifice, focus, vision. dedication. Like those are the key ingredients to
Yeah.
you know
Drown out the
to
noise.
what they
It's hard because
explain to what they explain led them to their success.
right. And it's hard, man, because like I
Any
said,
of those words you're gonna find
right,
in the answers of
right,
you know what I mean when they ask them, yeah. So what made you do it? Dedication, hard work, focus,
right.
sacrifice. Those are all key
Commitment.
common
Yeah,
denominating words, man.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It's always thing, man. It's always
and
great
it's
because I'm one of them. I can give better advice than I give myself. So this
Oh
is part
yeah.
of that segment right here, where I feel like though, but the more you put it, the more you spew it, you're gonna have to regurgitate it at some point. You know what I'm saying?
right,
You have
right.
to. If not, you're just a fucking coin box that people put a quarter in your back to fucking get a comment out of you.
Yep, yep.
Oh, thanks, pal. All right, done with you.
And it's so and this and yeah, yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Cowboys in Compton. That's what the fuck that
Yes.
means. So shout out to everybody that did this one. We're gonna go around
Yeah,
the
man.
board and we're gonna do a rating. How are you gonna start it off?
Start it off, Maddie. Start it off, Maddie.
You had the pumpkin rating.
Thank you.
So we break down ratings by pumpkins, watermelons, and canepas, and we give out of 5. So little Maddie's gonna start it off for us in his reviews.
Man, I went with. Ooh, it didn't show it right. I went with 4 out of 5 pumpkins this week for
okay.
Fire on the Hill. Like I said, there was some stuff that they didn't go into, which is why I took the 1 point off that I would like to know more about. Like we were speaking of the racing. I felt like they glazed over too quick about who set the fire. But I do understand that the entire documentary was then not necessarily about the fire. That was just one of 4 other stories.
Right.
So I get that they couldn't delve into it too much, but that was the one that left me the most of, I felt like they skipped a chapter of like, oh, now we're here 2 years later, what the fuck? But other than that, I thought it was great. Like I really enjoyed Guan Featherstone. Featherbird? Feather what?
Yo.
Let me see. Featherstone.
You
Which is the
give,
illest name of all time.
You should get 5 pumpkins, just 1 for that name.
For real. Guan Featherstone, like I said,
Featherstone.
Guan Featherstone, really good guy. That's what I wrote, and that's what I believe. That shit was. Let me see if I had another quote.
Was that the name of the guy? Was that the name fucking Rock had in fucking Jumanji? Was it Featherstone?
Wow, it might have been. It was something close to that.
Something
I feel
Stone
like,
or
right?
some shit, right? You ever see that movie, P?
Yeah.
Was it Featherstone?
And then,
Bravestone. My bad.
Bravestone.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Some more quotes to finish it off. The gentleman that was the guru trainer, he said that you want to achieve, which sounded so good, hyper body, quiet mind. And I was like, don't we all? Like,
that's some
just
Zen shit
keep
right
your
there,
mind
boy.
calm and keep your body sharp. And then Quan,
that's some Bruce Lee shit, man.
Yeah, it is. The last quote from Quan Featherstone is, if you're going to tear something down, you should build it back up too. And I felt that shit was good. And that's, I think, what we all say, and everybody needs to follow it more. It's talk, but also work, and that's what it is, man. If you're going to shit on the thing, let's make it better. If we can.
Right,
if we can,
right. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Ain't that a saying?
Yeah.
They say, don't complain about the shit if you ain't trying to do something to help it out. You know what I mean? Go into your little cave over there and sit down on your hands, nigga.
Yeah. So for me, 4 out of 5, man. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I picked it.
Okay, I'm glad you did too, man. So out of this one, see, I never want to go. I think when you go 5, it's an ultimate. I felt like this might have been close to a 5 for me. I'm big on the halves, I did a 4.5 last week too. This might be right up in the 4.5 for me. 4.5 pumpkins. I keep saying pumpkins, man. Why? It's almost that season, I think. 4.5 watermelons, man. That's my other half for me coming out. 4.5 watermelons, man. Inspirational story. I'm all about inspiration. Knowledge of cowboys in the hood is mind blowing to me. Like that's like 2 stars in itself. You know what I mean? Like this motherfucker's in Compton on horseback, and I was gonna leave it at 4, but I had to give an extra half a star for the visual. Like the documentary visual was actually really dope. Like they got a lot of good shots.
How it was shot.
It felt like a movie. I mean, it was a very movie-esque, especially when they were like in the middle of a highway on that dirt strip in the middle is where they're fucking gallivanting at. You know what I'm saying? Like these niggas is going hard in the middle of the throughway. You know what I'm saying? It's like they had some dope ass epic shots, man, that I really enjoyed. And the soundtrack was pleasing to the ears, easy to kind of flow along with without kind of yawning. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I recommend this one, man. Anybody that don't believe in Cowboys in the Hood, you need to see this one. Hence why I got this. So 4.5 watermelons for your boy Pastry. We in here.
Nice.
Fat Cat. The cat. The cat.
What's up, y'all?
How many pieces of fruit would you like to bet?
Just give me 1 second because
damn.
I think I got to express myself here right now. So
okay. We got some.
I had to write it down.
Okay. I like that.
Down.
Listen, did you just have a hyper body, quiet mind? Is that what just happened?
Oh shit.
He gave the 5 canepas.
I like it.
Those are nice canepas, nigga.
Plus.
Ooh. You want to throw in an extra one for the non-believers?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we see here on the Dr. Fat Cat. Fat Cat likes to break the scale sometimes. Go ahead, go for it.
No, man, because this one here, even though last week, it hit home because it was in tune with my fucking conspiracy shits and like my beliefs and the things that I can't control and all this other bullshit and all of this and all of that. But this one is downright so much in tune with like it's so much relatable because is shit that I relate to because it's on a livable everyday basis. Even though that's in California, I understand. I just understand. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's definitely relatable and understandable. Yet, even though I won't understand or relate to being the actual cowboy or bull rider, I understand the sentiments. I understand where it was coming from. You know what I mean?
Being in a neighborhood that you want better out of.
And I understand that, these things are possible because I've seen it also firsthand. You know what I mean? And the also reason why I gave it so high ratings because you can watch this, man, and this can be like a life teaching. This can, you know what I'm saying? These are life lessons in here where you can learn from, where you can teach and grab from, you know what I mean, and spread, you know what I mean, and it would affect people, you know what I mean, like in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Like this thing was so positive in so many levels. It was crazy. You know what I mean? It showed the human characteristic so much. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Just onto how kind and thoughtfulness of horses were. And nowadays, in this day and time, you know what I mean? We really, you know what I mean? Some people really don't give a fuck about their own kid, let alone giving a fuck about a horse.
Yeah, they the ones opening their back door, letting their cat run free. You free now.
You know what I'm saying?
Jeans is a shack.
So you know what I mean? That's and it was just so heart, heartfelt and heartwarming, you know what I mean, to see actually people in this day and time doing this and giving a fuck and giving and being so passionate. And not only giving a fuck, but being
it doesn't match especially outside the normal match of the neighborhood, you know what I mean?
Right, and being so passionate in what they believe, you know what I mean? And that dude Guam, man, like in my eyes, I believe he's like a modern day hero, man, because he stood for what he believed in, and he didn't stop, and he kept going. You know what I'm saying?
He talked to the neighborhood. He came to the community, even when they shitted on him.
I'm even to the fact to believe to this day. As of right now, I think that place is still doing what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I gave it 5++ canepas, you know what I mean, because of that. Fucking great pick, Maddie, you know what I'm saying? This was some real life-changing shit, man. You know what I mean? Nice. Like it can be very powerful for people.
Yeah, this is
and this is gonna be another one that I'm about to start recommending because I'll be playing 2K, and everybody I was playing and come, my friends, I was telling them, yo, you guys, I gotta see four presidents, four presidents, four presidents. This is gonna be another one. They got to see Fire in the Hill.